guys, and welcome back to Reading Cloud. Today I'm going to read you the 117 story treehouse, chapter 11 and 12. Chapter 11, Where the Filed Things Were. The monster stomps through the forest of filing cabinets, and its feet sink deep into the sand, which is now back all over the ground. "What is this sand doing here?" growls the monster. "It should be filed under S." It angrily scoops up a handful of sand and marches across to a filing cabinet drawer marked S. It stares at the open drawer and roars. "Fee, file, fo, for. Who has opened up this drawer? Fee, file, fo, fabnets. Who's been messing with my cabinets?" The monster rips a coconut palm from the ground and shoves it into a drawer marked C. It grabs an armful of rocks and drops them in a drawer marked R. It snatches a bird from the sky and is about to shove it into a drawer marked B when Jill jumps up and yells, "Stop! That's no way to treat birds! Birds belong in the sky, where they can be free, not locked away in a drawer marked B." "Uh-oh," I whisper to Terry. She's done it now. "Who are you?" says the monster. "I'm Jill," says Jill, definitely. The monster glares at her. "Did you open up all my filing cabinets?" "Yes, I did," says Jill. "You had animals filed in there, and it's not right." "Yes, it is," says the monster. "It was exactly right. I'm very good at filing. I had the snakes under S, I had the tokens under T, and I had the lambs under L. And I'm going to put you under M for meddling humans who should mind their own business." "Animals are my business," says Jill. "I run an intergalactic animal rescue service, you know, and that includes animals on Earth who are trapped in filing cabinet drawers." "And I run a filing business," says the monster. "I love to file, and I found an island that needed filing, and that's exactly what I did until you came and messed it all up. But I'll soon fix that." The monster pulls the drawer all the way open and sees Terry and me. "Aha," it says, scooping us all up. "More meddling humans." "Put us down right now," says Jill. "Please," says Terry. "Pretty please," I say. "I'll put you down all right," says the monster, "right down into the M drawer." "Wait," says Jill. "I don't think M is right. I think it's perfect," says the monster. "You're a bunch of meddling humans. What else could it possibly be?" "Well," says Jill, "you could file me under G for girl and Andy and Terry under B for boys." The monster frowns. Yes, that's a much better idea." It opens the B and G drawers. "But hang on a minute," I say. "You could file us under our occupations, me under W for writer, Terry under I for illustrator, and Jill under A for animal rescuer." "Or," says Terry, "you could file us under our names, T for Terry, A for Andy, and J for Jill." "Or our eyes colors," says Jill. "B for blue, G for green, and H for Hazel." "Stop, stop, stop," says the monster. "You're getting me all confused." "Sorry," says Jill. "We're just trying to help." "Well, you're not helping," says the monster, "but I know what to do. I'll cut you all up into pieces and file a piece of you under each of the letters you have suggested. Oh, I am such a clever filing monster. Now, where did I put my scissors? Oh, yes, here they are under S, where they belong." The monster puts us down and gets out a very large and very sharp-looking pair of scissors. "Eek," says Jill. "Yikes," says Terry. "I wish we'd stayed in jail. I'd much rather be in jail than cut into little pieces." "Me too," I say. "I never thought I'd say this, but I wish the story police were here right now to arrest this crazy monster. Where are they when you really need them?" "They're right here," says a voice behind us, "and we're putting a stop to this ridiculous story before it gets any worse and any more crimes are committed. We're putting you all under arrest." Chapter 12, The Very Big, Very Deep Pool. We have no choice but to surrender. The store police arrest all of us, including the filing monster, and marches us down to the beach where their boat is waiting. "Where are you taking us?" I say. "To see your old friend, Judge Pumpkinscone," says the chief. "She's not our friend," says Jill. "She's sentenced up to 1 billion years in prison." It would have been better for you if you'd stayed there, says the chief. This time you're probably going to sentence you to a zillion years. But why am I under arrest, says the monster. Because you are about to cut everybody up with a big pair of scissors, says the chief. Young children may be reading this book, perhaps even at bedtime. They don't want to see people being cut into pieces by monsters. It could give them terrible nightmares. Now stop arguing, put those scissors down, and get in the boat with other prisoners. As we climb aboard the boat, we see that the other prisoners are an old man almost bent over double, a woman with bright red fuzzy hair wearing a flower pot over her head. On her head, a moose in a doctor's coat, and an angry-looking man with a really big red nose. Excuse me, says Terry to the man with the big nose. You seem familiar. Have we met before? Of course we have, you clown, says the man. It's me, your publisher, Mr. Big Nose. I should have guessed you'd had something to do with this. I'm a busy man, you know. I haven't got time to be arrested for story crimes that I didn't even commit. You published their books, says the chief. You're just as much to blame as anybody. You should have checked them more thoroughly to make sure they didn't break so many story rules. I didn't know there were story rules, says Mr. Big Nose. Ignorance of the law is no defense, says the police chief. What about us, says the moose, who I am amazed to release is the one and only Dr. Moose, author of The Splat in the Hat. Why have Beatrix Potty, Boris Benback, and I have been arrested? Because, says the chief, your books break lots of rules too, and I believe the children of the world deserves better. I mean, really, what sort of lesson is anyone supposed to learn from ridiculous stories about pooping rabbits, splatting splats, and foolish filing monsters? Well, says Beatrix Potty, children can learn a lot of fun facts about nature from my book. For example, some rabbits poop a lot. And, says Boris Benback, where the file things are teaches children that even though there's a place for everything and everything has a place, that place may not be necessarily be in a filing cabinet drawer. My book is just supposed to be funny, says Dr. Moose. I want to make my readers laugh because, after all, laughter is the best medicine. And I should know because, as well as being a writer and an illustrator, I'm also a qualified doctor. Tell it to the judge, says the chief. But I don't have time to tell it to the judge, says Mr. Big Nose. I'm a busy man. So am I, says the chief. I have 8 prisoners to deliver to the judge, and that's exactly what I intend to do. I'm sorry, everybody, I say. It's all my fault. I should never have tried ending Terry's dumb dot story with, and then suddenly we woke up and realized it was all just a dream. That's what alerted the story police in the first place. Don't be so hard on yourself, young fella, says Boris Benback. What did those story police know? Some of the most famous books in the world have ended with waking up and discovering it was all just a dream. Alice's Adventure in Wonderland, for example. And don't forget The Wizard of Oz, says Beatrix Potty. Thanks, I say, that makes me feel a lot better. Do you think I should try it again? No, says Dr. Moose quickly. Twice in one book might be a bit much. Then what are we going to do, says Joe? Well, says Mr. Big Nose, the way I see it, we've got 5 authors and 4 illustrators here. You ought to be able to come up with a creative solution to our problem. Dots, says Terry. They make great holes, remember? Holes, I say, in a boat? Are you crazy? We'll sink. That's exactly what we want, says Terry. If we sink the boat, the story police won't be able to take us to jail. Quick, Boris, Dr. Moose, and Beatrix, help me draw some dots on the bottom of the boat. The more we can draw, the faster we'll sink. With pleasure, says Beatrix. I love drawing dots. Me too, says Dr. Moose. Let the wild dotting begin, says Boris. It's not long before water is gushing in through all the nearly drawn dot holes. Abandon ship, yells the chief. We're taking on water. Abandon ship. We all jump overboard and splash our way back towards the shore. We drag ourselves out of the water and up onto the sand. Yay, says Terry. My plan worked. We escaped from the story police. Well, yes, I say, but not for long. Look, they're coming. Terry turns and sees the story police advancing towards us. Don't worry about it, he says. I've got an idea for another story, and this one has a really good ending. Terry clears his throat and begins narrating. Once upon a time on an island, Terry, Andy, Jill, Mr. Big Nose, Dr. Moose, Beatrix Potty, Boris Benback, and a filing monster were surrounded by a load of angry story police who wanted to arrest them and put them into storytelling jail for a zillion years. So the bravo hero, Terry, drew a dot. And the dot got bigger and bigger and bigger. And then it stretched out and got even bigger and deeper and bigger and deeper until it became a really big, really deep hole. And the story police all fell in. And they all lived happily ever after. I'm not happy. Me neither. Or me. Get off my face. The end. Hooray! Shouts Dr. Moose. Now all the storytellers of the world are free to tell whatever stories they want without fear of the story police. Terry peels the hole off the ground and gives it to the filing monster. You might like to file this under H for a hole, he says. I'd love to, says the monster, and after I've done that, I'll get on with filing the rest of the island just the way it was. Please don't file any animals, says Jill. They don't like it. Or trees, I say. Or rocks or sand, says Terry. What, says the monster. You mean I should just let it all lie around in a big mess? Yes, says Jill. It's called nature, and it's the way it's meant to be. But I'm a filing monster, says the monster, looking sad. What will I do if I can't file? Well, says Mr. Big Nose, I could use an enthusiastic filing monster like you in my office at Big Nose Books. Oh, that would be wonderful, says the monster. I always wanted to get into publishing. It starts with P, one of my favorite letters. Terry giggles. P, he says. So, says Mr. Big Nose, what happens now? I need to get back to work. I'm a busy man, you know. And you need to get your book done by 5 o'clock today, or else. We can all sail home on our dot yak, can't we, Terry? Says Jill. No, I say, it's not there anymore. One-Eyed Pete stole it. I hate pirates, sighs Terry. So what are we going to do, says Jill. How will we get home? Terry strokes his chin thoughtfully. If only we had a cane basket, he says, and a little bit of fire. I could inflate a dot and turn it into a hot air balloon. I have some fire under F, says the filing monster, and a cane basket under B. Here you are. Thanks, says Terry. Terry draws a dot and attaches it to the basket. Everyone climb in, he says. We all pile into the basket, and Terry uses the heat from the fire to inflate the dot. As the dot rises into the air, the ropes tighten and lifts the basket off the ground. We'll be home in no time, says Terry. Then we can get started on our book. The sooner we get started, the better, I say. There's a lot for us to write about. So much has happened today. Dr. Moose and Boris and I could help, says Beatrix. After all, we can all write and illustrate. Of course, says Dr. Moose. You know what they say, many hooves make light work. I couldn't agree more, says Boris, and I'd love to visit your treehouse. I've read so much about it, and I'd like to come and meet all your animals, Jill, says Beatrix. And they would love to meet you, says Jill. They're big fans of your books. Well, that's settled then, I say, as the hot air dot rises higher and higher into the air. You're all invited to visit and help us with our book. Up, up, and away, says Terry. Well, that's the end of this channel. If you liked it, please click many likes and subscribe Reading Club. Thanks again for listening, and I'll come back later with a new and improved channel. Bye, everybody.